I want to say, and obviously I don't want people to get upset about this, but when you hear from actually often functional medicine practitioners that it's the gut is the root cause, everything is okay. It isn't, okay? It isn't. I'm telling you now, gut is a contributing factor to illness without any shadow of a doubt. And it's critically important to make sure that your gut function is right, it's adequate, it's, well, more than adequate. If you want optimal health, it needs to be pretty good. However, even on the physical plane, I'm not even talking mental, emotional yet, I'm talking physical. If you want to have a good gut function, you have to have good neurology, and your vagus nerve comes into play, right? So again, so straight away, you can't say that the gut is the ultimate root cause. Not even close, because neurologically speaking, if the vagus nerve is not functioning properly, you're never gonna heal leaky gut. You're never going to have good gut function. You're never gonna have good brain function. You're never gonna have good function of all the organs that the vagus nerve supplies, which is basically most organs in your chest and abdominal cavity. And that's just for starters. This is the neurological level. And then on top of that, we need to now think about how many things affect vagus nerve function. And yes, sure. From the point of physical body, something like dysbiosis will affect the vagus nerve function. But what is often not considered enough is how much of the mind stuff, so much garbage that people actually have in the mind, the subconscious patterns, the limiting beliefs, the traumas that are unresolved, and people are not even aware of how much that actually messes up your vagus nerve function, because it imbalances the autonomic nervous system. There's no question about that. And of course, early childhood trauma is a massive contributor to that. So that's the mental, emotional. Of course, if you have trauma early in your life, your brain starts to function completely differently, because your brain starts to, it basically gets put on red alert to make sure that that sort of trauma or any other type of trauma will never happen again. So you're going to have that hypervigilance going on, and that will then contribute to all sorts of behavior adaptations, all sorts of maladaptations, physiologically, and also on the level of the mind and within the subconscious and so on. And obviously that just messes everything up. Now, in addition to that, we also have other layers to the human system. So when really these days, I mostly work with energetic medicine, quantum medicine. There are many, many more layers to the human system, and that will all feed into the physical as well. So you can never say that gut is the ultimate cause of root health. It's merely a contributing factor. You need to be looking at energy flow through your meridians. You need to be looking at energy flow through your chakra system, right? So energy flow through the body is going to be critically important. You cannot have blockages in energy and have good health. That's just not going to happen. Then we have the higher consciousness, and we have the karmic layers. There's so many layers to the human system. And what's really important to realize is that in the system, everything affects everything. So you can work with the energy field and have a direct effect on the physical. Without any shadow of a doubt, I could be doing a remote quantum healing session on somebody. Not only will they actually feel, because a lot of people have that sensitivity, and they will feel that I am actually sending them frequencies at a distance, but I can create a physical shift. So for instance, let's say they're in pain, we're sending them a bunch of corrective frequencies, and boom, the pain is gone, right? Or their blood pressure was too high, and now the pressure, these are real measurable physical effects. So everything affects everything. So your biofield, your energy flow will affect the physical, but it will also affect the mental and emotional layer. And so because if people know anything about, for instance, the meridians, when you're working with the meridians, you will have effect on your mental and emotional well-being, not just the physical well-being. So then we have, obviously, whatever you're doing at the physical level, that still counts, absolutely, and you still need to get it right. So I'm not saying you don't need to get it right, you absolutely do, because if you eat a crappy diet, you're going to mess up your neurotransmitters, your microbiome, and so on. All of that will then affect your mental, emotional processes. All of that will then feed into the energy flow and so on. So everything affects everything. And so we need to really be thinking a lot more broadly. I don't want to use the word holistically because it's a bit cliche, but
true.
Really, it is about thinking about all the layers, not just some of the layers or one layer. It needs to be that everybody's got the different pieces of the puzzle, and it is a puzzle. There's many pieces to it, and in order for this to come together, you need to be thinking about all of these layers, not just about one thing. Makes sense?
Right, absolutely.